you're asking for the chances of Mr. Peter Obi if there is a room for individual candidacy, independent candidacy.
Pretty much. Yes, sir.
You know, if that was the case, Mr. Peter Obi would have been the president today. You know, I think it was in 1963 thereabout where there was a modification to our constitution that was when the independent candidacy was taken off. And I know because I had a meeting, the first meeting we had about the electoral reform in December at the Merit House, where I invited members of House of Representatives and senators in Abuja. I know that one Honorable Ben Atenebene's bill for independent candidacy, independent electoral observers, and the immediate transfer of the results into the IREV from the polling unit has gone beyond the first reading. It's in the second reading. But you see, Nigerians, and it's important to say this here because we are busy doing nonsense on Twitter. When you go to Twitter, they are saying, oh, Tinubu is in France. Oh, Shehi is following him. Yoruba this, Igbo that. We are completely the bulk of the youth who are supposed. President Tinubu is not our problem right now. In context to this discussion, our problem is Akpabio and all the people who are there in that chamber to ensure that whichever bill that is a people-driven bill, that we go to that place, lock up the doors, protest until they sign. Because if in one day they can pass bills, they can pass President Tinubu's bills of all the things he wants. In one day, they can pass that bill. But we need to get Nigeria. So I understand what Delivery is saying. I'm also advocating for that. Because there is Ugo Chindere's bill that was for the electoral reform. I can't remember exactly what it was right now. It was thrown out at the second or the first reading because people are not even aware. You know, when we are having consultations about the bills, there should be engagement across board on social media, on traditional media. People should be protesting. If not, these people that we have, they will just do the bidding of the executive and they will just move. And at the end of the day, we'll be complaining because we are completely distracted. You know, and once the populace is completely distracted, these people will have their way. So I completely align with Delefaro to me in the call for action to be decisive and to be issue based in terms of our orientation. If we had independent candidacy, somebody like President Muhammadu Buhari wouldn't have needed APC. Peter Obi would not need any political party because these are people that it is them giving life to political party because they already have a buy-in of Nigerians across board. You know, what many people are not aware of, just yesterday alone, between the last 48 hours, Mr. Peter Obi does between 10 meetings in 48 hours. Sometimes we do 5 states in one day, you know. So there are many more people who are even more ready to vote for Mr. Peter Obi now than it happened in 2023. But because we are not in an election year, people don't know this. This is the power that he has been galvanizing, moving around. And that's why I know that the government of the day, what they hate is to ensure that Mr. Peter Obi does not move around. You know, because his moving around is endearing because Nigerians need leaders that can touch base with them, leaders that are in IDP camps with them, leaders that are in the hospitals with them, leaders that travel the same road where they are kidnapped. They want a leader. That's why in the first New Year brokers, Mr. Peter Obi said to Mr. President, rather than going to France, can't you attend one of the, what stops us in having a hospital where our president can go to? Are we cost, for goodness sake? Are these not conversations that we should have, for goodness sake? You know, so if today independent candidacy is allowed, Mr. Peter Obi is already president. There's no question to that.